I'm at Mount of Olives, but this time I'm at the east, kind of southeast part of Mount of Olives. It's difficult to see, but King Herod built this fortress there, Herodion, and I don't know if you can see the small peak. Yeah, now we can see it. This is the fortress that he asked to be buried, and we found his tomb lately. But look at that side of Mount of Olives is a totally desert. The clouds have been stopped at the other side of Mount of Olives. Then the other side is more green than this side, although now it's I think summertime. It's not, I think it's summertime. Then everything is gray now in Israel. The next rain will be only at let's say November. It's a long time from now. Then you can see the mountains far away, the mountains of Jordan, the Moab mountains. Ruth actually came from there and married Boaz at Bethlehem, which is just behind that hill. The Nativity Church is not so far away from here. And Mount of Olives is a place of resurrection. Then you can see here the Jewish tombs from the time of King David, which is 3,000 years ago, until now. You can see a lot of new tombs, for example, right here. And they believe when their Messiah will come, there will be the first one who will resurrect. And again, the word Messiah, oh, look at the birds. The word Messiah is not a Christian word, and let's start with that. It's the one that anointed, the one that God will give him a mission. Then for the Jews, the Messiah, they are waiting for the Messiah to come. Yes, the Christian can say he already came, that was Jesus. But that's for the Christians. And I'm taking you to the other part of the viewpoint, but you can see already how beautiful it is. And we will talk about almost every important site there. The Christians believe that when the Messiah will come, he actually already came, he ascended into heaven from here. And when Jesus will come for the second time, that will be the resurrection day for the Christians. But the Muslims got this almost the same story. When Allah will come, he will build a bridge between Mount of Olives and Jerusalem, and all the good disciples will cross it safely. Then three different stories, but it's actually of three different religions, but it's actually almost the same. Now you can see some buses here, but where are the tourists? The tourists are not here yet. The buses are here because they have to park somewhere. Where's the camel? The tourist is not here, are not here then. No reason to have a camel here. A camel ride on Mount of Olives. Now I know that you're looking at the Dome of the Rock, which I cannot blame you. This is the most beautiful sight of that place. Now let's stand there. But you know what? No, let's start from the beginning. And the beginning wasn't there. The beginning was there. King David, 3,000 years ago, occupied that city from the Jebusite, the Canaanite people. Now, look at that. It's quite green that area is quite green because this is the only spring of Jerusalem. Then let's face it, that is a better place to build a city. There, it's a better place to build a city. It's the highest place. Very difficult to occupy, but there's only one spring here. Then he knew what he did, and let's face it, God told him exactly what to do. Then I do have a lovely video of City of David, Pool of Siloam, the Pilgrimage Road. If you want me to send you a link of City of David tours, then no problem, just write, I want a link of City of David, and you will get it. And King Solomon was the one that became a Messiah. He was anointed by God there at the Gihon spring, and his mission was to build the Jewish temple. King David bought, just before he died, the place with full money. Then so many things happen on top of it. The first one is the foundation stone. You can see the Dome of the Rock now, which is such a beautiful, beautiful sight. But the name of the Dome of the Rock actually tells you that there is a dome above a rock. And we are talking about the foundation stone. This is the first rock ever. In that case, there's a divine connection between that stone to God. I mean, if God created it when he created the wood, then it is important. But so many other stories happen on top of that stone, and you will see the connection between divine and earth. Abraham almost sacrificed Isaac on top of Mount Moriah, which is there. And an angel came and told him, don't do that, God trusts you. Then in that case, connection. According to so many traditions, Adam and Eve, when they were kicked out from Eden, they went straight down to that place. And according to the Muslims, Muhammad ascended into heaven from there and met God himself, who gave him the 5 prayers of a day. But the most important thing is that God asked the Jews to build his house on top of that stone. Then in that case, for the Jews, the house, almost fell. For the Jews, the only house of God is there. Why I'm saying the only? I mean, synagogues are not the house of God. No, synagogues are not a house of God. Synagogues used to be kind of a gathering place. You could study the Torah there, you can actually gossip, you can talk about whatever, but only after the destruction of the temple, that temple, at 70 AD, the synagogues became a house of prayer. But this is the house of God. Every church is a house of God. Every synagogue, it's a house of prayer. I think you can understand the difference now. Then King Solomon built a small temple, and later on King Herod wanted to impress the world by building the most beautiful and the biggest ever temple in the world, not only in Israel, in the world. Then in that case, he had a problem because the stone was still so small. What he did, he destroyed everything that was around it and built 4 big walls. What you can see now is the remains of the eastern wall and the southern wall. And the other side is the well-known western wall, which I will visit later on. Then by building a plaza, he could build a major temple. The temple was between 2 to 3 times higher and bigger than the Dome of the Rock of today. Then you can imagine how big the temple was from here when so many pilgrims came to watch it. Today, on top of the Temple Mount, the Temple Plaza, you can see some beautiful things. First of all, at the eastern wall, you can see a gate. This is the Golden Gate, according to the Christian, and this is the Mercy Gate, according to the Jews. Once a year, the high priest used to go outside at the Day of Atonement with their scapegoats from there. And Christian believes that when Jesus will come, he will enter the temple through there. That's why, or maybe not, the Muslims build a cemetery next to it, a Muslim cemetery, because for them, Jesus is a human being and a prophet, and he's not supposed to come back. But if he will come, he won't be able to enter through that mosque, through that cemetery. True or not? I'm not sure that I know, but this is the story. Another two things that you can see on top of the Temple Mount the Dome of the Rock, which we already said that Muhammad descended into heaven and met God himself. And to the left is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. According to tradition, according to the Quran, it was a night journey to Al-Aqsa. We don't know where it was Al-Aqsa, but from the 10th century, it became, 7th century, Jerusalem became part of one of the options. And from that time, it's called Al-Aqsa Mosque, Haram al-Sharif. And 5 times a day, the Muslims are praying there. For non-Muslims, you can enter twice a day, not including Friday and Saturday, to the Temple Mount, but you cannot enter to the Dome of the Rock, and you cannot enter to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The southern wall was the main entrance to the temple, and you can see the stairs, which are right there. And the 10th that you can see there, it's the Byzantine neighborhood in that area, and we are now excavating it. Then City of David and the Temple Mount. Before we will continue, let me show you a few more things at that side of Mount of Olives. Dominus Flavit is right there. That's where Jesus saw the city and wept, and he said that city will be destroyed soon. And the Golden Onion Church is Mary Magdalene Church, a Russian church, a nice garden to visit. And the lower part, and this is the most important part, is Garden of Gethsemane, which I'm going to visit soon. And next to it, you can see another church, and that is St. Stephen Church. And according to tradition, that's where St. Stephen was stoned. And that's where St. Paul, as a Jew, was mentioned for the first time. Behind it, you can see kind of a burned area. And behind it, it's one of the gates, one of the 8 gates, and that is St. Stephanos Gate, or the Lion's Gate. What else we can see inside the city? Now, there are 4 quarters inside the city, but before we will enter into it, when the Ottomans built the wall, they forgot to build the wall around Mount Zion. And Mount Zion, you can see a few things. The beautiful pyramid top church, and the tower next to it is the Dormition Church, Dormition Abbey, and this is, according to what we believe, that that was the house of Mary. And according to Mary, according to the Catholic and the Greek Orthodox, she was sinless, that she couldn't die. She was here at Mount of Olives when an angel told her that she will leave our world soon. She had only 3 days, and she went back to her home. Jesus took her soul and body, but before that, next to Garden of Gethsemane Church, there's another church, and that's the Tomb of Mary. And yes, I know that there is another option, which is a late option at Turkey of today. Then now, when we know that that was the house of Mary, at the same place you can find the room of the Last Supper, which is a little bit left of that church, and the tomb of King David. Oscar Schindler tomb is there as well. And if you're talking about another church, it's difficult not to see it because of let me see, let me try to look for it because of the lens. Yeah, all right. Yeah. This is the high priest house. That was Jesus. That is the place that Jesus was judged by the high priest. It's called Peter in Gallicanto. A lovely French Catholic church to visit. And now let's enter to the city. There are 4 quarters in the city. The Armenian one, and the Armenian one is just opposite to Mount Zion. Very difficult to see. Well, I can see a little bit of it, but it's Yeah, a little bit wind. Yeah, it's there, more or less. The Jewish quarter, and at the Jewish quarter you can see the two white domes, but from here you can see only one. It is. And that's Tiferet Israel. I'm just a synagogue. I'm just waiting that they will rebuild it. It's almost the end of it. Sadly, the Jewish quarter is new because it's been destroyed by the Jordanians in 1948. In 1948, that city inside the wall was supposed to be part of United Nations, but it was occupied by the Jordanians until 1967, and from 1967 it's part of Israel. Inside the city, Christian quarter, you can see now the Redeemer Church tower, bell towers, and next to it, two grey domes. This is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the place that Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and resurrected. And yes, we do have two options. This is the first one, the oldest one from the 4th century, from the beginning of Christianity. And 19th century option is at the green area somewhere there. It's called the Garden Tomb. I uploaded a video of it lately. Guys, before we will continue, let me tell you that I do have 22,000 videos on my YouTube channel, and I will be more than happy that you will be part of it. Because there are no tourists, I will ask you for a favor. If you can, send that video and ask your friends to be part of my group by subscribing it. I have so many videos almost about every place in Israel, and you can always ask me to take more. And if you can help me financially, because you are the only income of mine, look at the like button. Wait a minute. Looks like, yeah. Next to it, there's a shape of a heart. It's called Super Thanks, and you can help me via YouTube. But at the description, you will find 2 more links of Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal. Every penny actually helps me, and sadly I reached the point of, I don't want to say anger, but I didn't buy anything but food, except of nothing else in those 3 years. Beautiful, isn't it? Let me show you one more place that I love. Oh, yeah, before that. Remember that we talked about ancient tombs. In the Kidron Valley, they divided Jerusalem and Mount of Olives. You can see few monuments. From here, you can see only the Pillar of Absalom, the Yad Avshalom, the tomb of Absalom, the son of King David. But beneath that village, you can find tombs from the time of King David. Whoa, that is amazing. And right here, very close to us, it's a French place. It's beautiful monastery. It's called Avram Monastery. But if we are talking about historical events, we believe that King Solomon built the palace of his 1,000 women. 1,000 women. 1,000 women! Crazy! Guys, this is such a beautiful day, and I hope that you will be part of my family by subscribing that. And you know what? When you will be the first one, when you will subscribe, what I will ask you to do is to write a comment, and then I will bless each one of you. Then look how beautiful it is. Thank you very much for being with me in those 20 minutes. Bye-bye.